Listen! Do it with me!
Hello, this is Victor Santana with Stock Hunters weekly video for June 20th. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing fine. Where are you in terms of the market direction? Let's go ahead and take a look at what the market's been doing and see what it can tell us as far as what to anticipate. Here we're looking at the daily chart here, indicated by the 200-day moving 150 and 18-day moving average here. So on all the charts you'll notice that. And here we're looking at the total U.S. market TMW, the ETF, that combines all the indices together and as an average. So as you can see, we have broken up above this resistance trend line and starting another resistance trend line going upward here. So here we are in this area here, smaller candle based on the day before, Thursday's candle. We are looking at the MACD. It looks like it does want to touch here, and the histogram bars are slowing down here. So look like we may get a downward thrust down here to the 8250 area. However, if momentum does kick in, we could see maybe 85.10 for the end of the week, or we can be down here at the 81.45. I'm looking at the weekly signals here, which you can't see right now, but they are just starting to touch right now, or excuse me, cross. So we may be getting some momentum coming in. So I'm leaning more toward the upside here, which would then either flatten this histogram bar down here or create a little taller one here, and this will start kind of trading sideways. So we'll just have to wait and see. Let's go ahead and break this down to the individual indices. Look, we're looking at the Dow here, and as you can see, we've gone all the way down here, got the bounce here. We did break above this resistance line here, and now potentially probably go up to 105.50, or we have a lot of support down here at the 103 area. Worst case scenario, maybe 101. If we do crash, you know, we have the potential of heading down, making lower low in the coming months here, but we'll just have to play it 1 week at a time. Now let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. You can see that we've gone down here, got the bounce. We have a chance of probably 113.70 area based on this, but since we're getting lower lows on these red candles, we may hit some support maybe tomorrow before we get the bounce, or go down as 109. The weekly signal is also kind of pointing upward, so maybe for the week we'll end up closing positive. Now let's go ahead to the NASDAQ. NASDAQ here, we've had a pretty good run up here. Now it looks like we're getting tired. We're getting candles are getting lower and lower. Here we may get a touch in this area before getting a bounce up, so the NASDAQ may be leading the charge. It's looking the strongest. If you look at this signal here, the MACD, they have not touched, so it has potential to continue upward, and the histogram bars are getting smaller, but they could stabilize, and if we do get that run back up, they could generate a larger bar here. Looking at the weekly here, we are pointing on the upward momentum. And then finally, let's look at the Russell's 2000, the small caps that normally lead the market direction overall. And if that is the case to be true, you could see here we have not broken up above the last resistance line here, and we don't have too much to go as on the upside here, so it's looking the weakest. So we just got to be careful. If we do break above here, you know, we might get to 68.25. If we go down 65.60 area, 65.25, worse 63.55. As you can see, we are touching here, and the bars are getting smaller. So got to be careful. Weekly signals though still pointing on the upward, but you know, we'll see where it takes us here. So this is a caution. And then finally, let's look at the global stocks. Global stocks here, we did break above this downward trend line and this resistance line going across, and we're getting these little candles here, meaning a lot of indecision. This last candle here though is lower than this Thursday candle, so it may have a tendency to go downward. If not, we can go up to this area 56, 10, 24 area. Momentum is just starting to touch, and the histogram bars are getting smaller. Looking at the weekly signals though, they are still pointing up, and it's on its second week of upward momentum, so we may get the next touch up in this area. And that is pretty much it. I'm going to go over real quick last week's recommendations for you guys. Did recommended getting in this area here from 61.81, and if you would have exited right on Friday's close, then you would have been up here in the 729 area. So this was a winner. UNG Natural Gas recommended it here on Friday or for the weekend. Entered in on Monday at 8.39, and this one didn't fare as much, 8.55, but nevertheless a little gain. And then we got USO Oil, recommended it over the weekend. If you got in at 34, excuse me, and you would have gotten out 35.40. And the last one to the healthcare, and again, small gain here from 29.23 area to the 29.56, a small little gain here. So pretty much 444. And let me go real quickly, give you for next week here, see if that works out. And we got the inverse of gold, believe it or not. It looks like we're getting a little support down here at the Bollinger Band. This is still pointing downward, so this is kind of a higher speculative play here. If it breaks 10.54, then we have a chance to go up to 11 here, 11.50, depending how next week runs. So that's just an idea. We'll just follow it up on next week. And then JJC copper, and this one here, it has been on the downtrend quite a bit here. We did get a divergent signal back here, and however no divergent signal from here to here, but by looking at this here, we may get a upward. So if we go up at 39.30, break above, then we could probably see a higher high here, especially if the market wakes up. So we'll play with that. And then the last one here would be DGT. We'll go a threesome this week. The Global Titans, I like this formation here. It looks like it did want to touch 18-day, so it may have some more room to go. Looking at maybe 53.60. This is touching though, so it may pull back a little bit, so something to consider. Looking at the weekly signals here, it's starting to point upward, so a good chance of getting up here, leaning toward it. So we'll just have to wait and see if the market plays out, and from there, until next time, let's keep our eyes on the markets. And my time is getting close to get out, so I'm out of here.
Yeah! Where are you? Listen!